Hello everyone, give me a minute. We're getting started here. This is not my regular scheduled time, but things are a little hectic these next couple of days. Hey Doris, you found me. Let me get it pulled up here on my computer and we can get started. Hey Doris, you found me. All right, I need on my computer. Okay, we are good to go. Okay, so this has been one of those days where we have been running from the beginning of getting up, been down to Columbia to doctor's appointment, had lunch, and I'm back. So that's a 60-mile drive one way. And then I have a class, so I wasn't able to do it this morning at the time that I normally do my Facebook Live. And I have a class tonight that I have to leave for at 4:30 to set up for. So there's another problem. So it was like, if I don't do it now, I'm not going to get it in. I will not be here next week because we will be driving home from New Orleans and the Super Bowl on Monday. So I'm just very quickly going to go on ahead and get today, and we're going to work on a technique. But before I do that, I want to show you the cards that we have. This was a pop-up class that is available, and it receives a full package of the Serene Love DSP, which is now not black and white. They colored it in Old Olive, Lost Lagoon, and Night of Navy, and those are the inks I used. It also has all the same patterns, but you're going to get a full package of the paper, a full package of the Riverside Irregular Gems, which I think are just stunning. There are 3 different colors to them. And then you're also going to get a full package of coordinating cardstock that a lot of people don't keep a full package. A lot of people, I better pull these down. A lot of people only do a few pieces of cardstock, or they maybe only take their favorite 3 or 4 cardstocks. So I really like it when I can offer a mixed package of cardstock so that you have several sheets, and you're going to have plenty of this paper. So you'll have the cardstock, which will be Lost Lagoon, it's this color, and Night of Navy, that color, and Old Olive, that you will be able to add to your supplies and have, instead of buying the whole package. They don't sell those as well as they used to. They used to actually package it for just a DSP, and now the only way you get it is packages of 2 sheets. Well, my gosh, some people go through the 2 sheets and then they have some of the 10 colors that they never touch. So these are excellent colors. So these are called, the stamp set is called Hope You Know, but you can use any stamp set you have. I also had a few stamp sets of the botanical layers from last year's celebration. Those have already been claimed, but the cards are still gorgeous and so easy to do. And simply substitute and put any kind of a foliage stamp that you have. Any foliage will work. Any plants, any branches, anything like that. So these are simply cut out of the paper, just like so. Here is one. There's actually 5, I believe, fun folds in here of cards. This is just a regular one. Here's another fun fold this way. So that was 3 fun folds. Here's another one this way. They are beautiful cards. They are beautiful cards. I love it when I can design a card class with just a few basic colors, and I just sit and I just play. It's like a puzzle. I love this one, and all I did was cut an inch off and flip it to the back side. So this was on one side of the paper. I cut an inch off and flipped it over, and this is the design on the other. Completely different look. And then another fun fold this way. So anyhow, this is a $40 class. It's a pop-up class, and that means that I'm not meeting with you. We are not scheduling a night to gather or Facebook Live or anything like that. I just was able to work it into my calendar, and it's just going to be pop-up, meaning you don't know when they're going to come, because I'm not going to do it on a regular basis. It's just as I can work it in. If you're able to pick it up here in Macon, you just pop up to my front door and I'll meet you there and you can pick it up. If I need to mail it to you, we just pop it into the mailbox and I ship it to you. There is a $40 charge, gets the card stocks. We have 24 sheets, the DSP, which is a full pack, and the full pack of the gems. That in itself is like $34, I think. So, and then you get the 8 cards and the make and takes with it, everything. And I will send you an emailed tutorial so you have pictures and you can create on your own. Just sit down and do whenever you're ready. I do have a couple more pop-up classes that'll probably be coming in the next month. These are beautiful cards and they are all great for sympathy and whatever. So anyhow, there they are. There's 8. The pop-up, it's available now just for the DSPs, and then you use your own stamp sets because the stamps are already gone. But anyhow, there it is. Hey, Jonna, we've been to Columbia and we've been back. I've got a card class at 4:30 to set up for a club over in Bevere. So what we're going to do today is actually a card that I'm going to use in my technique class tomorrow. I'm going to show it to you. It's called the rock and roll. And the rock and roll technique is a beautiful technique and an easy technique. I want you to focus on the word technique, because sometimes when it's time to do a technique, you might not have quite everything I have, but you can still use the technique. It's kind of hard to see, but this stamp right here is actually two-toned. The center is Petunia Pop, and the outside is Blackberry Bliss. You can see the two tones in the leaves. And this is going to be one that I use in my technique class tomorrow. Technique class is a group that meets. We have 2 of them right now. I've had interest in a 3rd one. They are in person at this point. But technique class is one where we gather and we do 2 different techniques, and then we usually do a fun fold. And thank goodness Jonna has taken on for her group tomorrow. She's going to do my fun fold tomorrow. Thank you, Jonna. Believe me. Thank you, Jonna. I was stressing over getting all this done. And then we do a notebook. And I think the notebook is the key. I do a notebook. I type up the directions for them, and they put those directions on one side. And on the other side, directly across from it, they have a very simple example. It's not a full card. It's just a little panel that they can see, how did I do that? Now, what does that mean? What does rock and roll mean? Well, there it is. So we're going to start with fresh freesia. And this is 8.5 by 4.5. Scored, no, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. And then I'm going to pair it with Blackberry Bliss. I'm also ran a white, and this is the Distressed Tile, which is one of my favorites. I love the Distressed Tile embossing folder. And I'm going to put that right on top of this. And I know I have my tape here. So watch carefully, Jonna, because this is one of the cards for tomorrow. I was excited when I got this one done. I'm going to put it right on here. My nose is itching, so that means somebody's talking about me. I hope it's in a good way. Isn't that what they say? If your nose itches, somebody's talking about you. And then we're going to go on ahead and put this piece. And this is from, I don't know. It's a celebration item. Maybe Blooming Impressions or something from this. Hey, Kathy. Blooming Impressions. It's a piece of the celebration paper. And we're actually going to use 3 celebration items. So I'm going to put that one here. And then one of the other celebration items is Fresh Freesia seam binding ribbon, and crinkled. You know, it may not say it in there, but usually when they post that, it has crinkled in there because they want you to know that this is meant to be wrinkled. It's not meant for you to iron it out. I knew somebody that used to iron her ribbons. I'm like, hello there. Why would I do that? I didn't iron clothes that much. Why would I iron my ribbon? But people do different things. So I'm going to go on ahead and put my adhesive on the back here. And I like, when I'm doing things like this, I like to keep my ribbon right at the top of the seam. I want it right on the seam, because if you put the ribbon half on the white, half on the seam, you're actually going to see the ribbon. It's going to look like 2 different things. It's going to be half white and half dark. It's weird. So I don't want weird. All right, now I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to tape over. You can put that adhesive right over the ribbon. And I'm going to put this down like so. Okay. All right. So this is a label that comes from the stamp called Memorable Blooms. It's a really pretty shaped label. There's just one, but then they also have one that has a die-cut flower that's very intricate, and it sits on top of this. I'm just using this. And I will tell you that when you cut it out, it leaves not only stitch marks here, but it has a real decorative, they're not stitch marks. It has a decorative edge that is on the negative of where you cut it. Hey, Mary, I'm not at the normal time. I came zooming in from Columbia, and I told Jim, I said, I'm going to do it right now. And that way it's done before I pack up for my class at 4:30. So I've got that label. I've got my white for the inside of my card, and I've got a couple of pieces of scrap. Now, here's the part that I want you to pay close attention to. You have a ribbon, you have an iron that you use just for ribbon, ironing ribbon. Oh, good grief. Kathy, you should come iron all my ribbons then, because it's not going to happen at my house. This stamp set is retired, but many of you might have it already. It was very, very popular last year. It's called Irresistible Blooms. But I went with it because I wanted to have one that was red. It has red rubber, so it's a cling. And I wanted it to have the leaves separate from the flower piece, okay? That was important for me to do to show you this rock and roll. You can do it with anything you have. There are plenty of flowers to pick from. I also went with one where it's not covered in ink. You're not going to see the ink here. You're getting the outline. I only want the floral outline, okay? All right, so I'm going to go on ahead, and I pulled out on Irresistible, and I pulled out the big flower and the little flower. I pulled out a greeting, and I pulled out the 2 leaves. Now, when you take your red rubber, a lot of times there is excess red rubber on the stamp. Here is one, and I'm trying to see if it'll pop up here for you to see. It's this leaf one. Can you see all the extra edging all around it? When you're doing the rock and roll, that might come in to be a problem. It might. So when I pulled out my stamp, I actually trimmed some of the red rubber off without cutting into any of the stamp. You can do that. You can always cut. There's nothing. It's like the tag on a pillow. It is not a federal offense to take the tag off your own pillow. And it is not an offense to cut some of the red rubber off. I mean, you know, just do it. But I also want I want to use the smallest block I can. I could have put this on a bigger block, but I wanted to use it on the smallest block so that I have access to this edge, because that's the part that gets the roll, okay? So I'm gonna start with Petunia Pop, and I'm gonna ink it up. Now I'm gonna switch to Blackberry Bliss, and I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna tilt it at an edge so that I'm only catching the edge of the stamp. I'm trying to see if I can show this to you in the screen, and if so, then I'll do it. But I'm always a little bit ahead of you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna just roll it around. Can you see how I'm getting the dark on it? And I'm just gonna keep going. Okay. And there it is. You get the Petunia Pop in the middle, but then you added the Blackberry Bliss to the outside. That's the entire process of rock and roll. It's an old technique that's been around a long time, and it's so easy to do. I think it will work on the photopolymer clear stamps, but I didn't get a chance to try it. So that's one of those I'm gonna have to play with, but it may not happen this week until I get back from our trip. Now, the other kicker is you gotta keep your stamp clean, because you don't want to contaminate the lighter ink with the darker ink. So you want baby wipes around, and you want to be able to do your cleaning. So we start first with the light, and then I'm gonna rock and roll it. Remember how I'm just gonna tip it at an angle and just rock around and go around. You can always go back, you can add more. It will get on the blocks, but you wanna keep your fingers off. And I'm just gonna put this one on the inside of my card. Gotta clean it because I'm gonna use it 2 more times. So that means that this cleaner is probably gonna have to go through the not the washer, but through the water coming out of the sink and be rinsed off really well. Okay, so here goes one, and the rock and roll. Just tipping it around. You don't have a lot of control, so that is one of the things to keep in mind. I'm gonna do a couple of portions. You can also do one called faux rock and roll. Faux, F-A-U-X. The faux rock and roll is one where you stamp with the lighter color, take a sponge dauber and daub the edging. The problem is the sponge dauber will not get as much ink around the outside as you get with the ink pad. All right, so I'm gonna go around. You're putting more pressure to it than what the ink will have on the you know what I'm saying, the sponge dauber. All right, I'm just gonna set this one here, like so. And I am done with that stamp. And I'm gonna clean it, and I'm gonna completely put it out of the way so I don't mix it up. Main thing, clean it. Clean it, clean it, clean it in between. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing. And I purposely looked for a stamp that kept the leaves separate. You don't have to. I just decided it would make more sense and be easier for you. And I had to go with the smallest block I have, which is this one. It wasn't as small as I want, but I'm going to use Lemon Lime Twist. And then I'm going to rock and roll it with Granny Apple Green, and I'll probably just do a section of it. I don't know that I'm going to do it all because it's easy to lose the ink of the lighter color in this one. So where am I at? I need this. Okay, so I'm going to do it again. So I've got a couple of them to use, and I'm going to put them directly this time onto this label. Lemon Lime Twist, rocked with Granny Apple Green. The smaller the stamp is, the harder it is to do the rock and roll. One more on that. Trying to just catch that corner edge. Okay. And then I'm going to switch it out to the 3-leafed stamp. And I just got ink on the back of my stamp set, so give me a second. I don't want it on me. Okay. All right, we start with Lemon Lime Twist. And I'm going to rock it with Granny Apple Green. And I'm going to do one here that I can cut out, clean it. And we're about done with the technique. And I did it again. I got my inks mixed up. Not mixed up, but on top of each other so that one ink gets on the bottom. Okay. Just touching in places. The thing about the faux is that you have more control. What other green could you use? You can always go with, if you had Granny Apple Green, you could start with it and go with Garden Green or Shaded Spruce. You could do, if you wanted the softer green, it's the soft seafoam. It's really soft and light. So that might be a harder one to work with. All right, I just did that. I'm gonna stamp that off. And I am going to step over here to the side, and I'm just going to run these stamps. I'll be right back. I'm just right here. I tried the Fresh Freesia with the Blackberry Bliss, and Fresh Freesia was too light. Mine was. So it's one of those things you just have to kind of play and see what works best. And I see a leaf not here. Oh, there it is. Okay. Blues would work. Balmy blue would work with Misty Moonlight. So just try different things. I also would try it with a photopolymer stamp if you haven't. I just was running short of time. I had, like I said, I have a class tonight. I have a class tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon. I have laundry and packing, and yeah, I really didn't want to do the doctor's appointment this morning, but it was no biggie. It just had to go do it, but it was like not something I needed to worry about today. But it's done now, so all right. So I had the die. There it is. We are are stopping overnight in Memphis because there's a Memphis barbecue place that we really like. It's called the Memphis Barbecue Company. And we have eaten there several times and really enjoy it. So we're taking our friends to there. And then we'll drive into New Orleans the next day. So, all right, let's put our card together and we're done. I did have a greeting that I went with that was in the stamp set. So let me pull that out, and it says, "Hooray, it's your day." And we're just gonna use Blackberry Bliss and stamp it like so. Looks like I got a little piece of fuzz here, but that'll be all right. Life goes on. You want perfection, go to Hallmark. Okay, and now I've got my pieces, and I'm gonna run it and put my card together. Okay, so this one goes on the inside. I have tried to figure out how to do technique class with online to be able to show it. And I have tried to figure it out. If anybody can figure it out, let me know, because I think there'd be quite a few people that would be interested in it. But again, it's just trying to figure out how to get it all done. You know, where I can send the card kits to you, but you have to use your own stamps and things. Let's put this on here. And Jonna, you said you have never... I want to grow up and travel like me. There are times Jim thinks we travel too much, but I try to keep him going. I try to have fun. I try to do my planning ahead, and I've got a sports bar already. Mr. Jerome and I are on a first name basis. He said, "Okay, Miss Nola." And I said, "No, sir, I'm Lola." And he said, "Okay, Miss Lola, you come in the day before and introduce yourself to me." And he said, "We will take care of you and get your table set up." So, and one of our Stampin' Up! Demonstrators, her name is Janet Wakeland. Janet Wakeland is one of our $1 Million Sales gals, and she lives in New Orleans. She is a Mardi Gras gal. She and her family all take part in the Mardi Gras celebrations and parades. And she and her husband are ambassadors to the, you know what I'm saying, where we're going, to the Super Bowl for the city. And so she will be stationed downtown. So, you know, who knows, I might see her. And being there to help and welcome people to New Orleans. I think that's fun. She doesn't get to go to the game. That's too bad. I thought maybe they would give them a ticket to the game, but hello there. They don't give any of those tickets away. Not even the sports people get to take. They don't. I think I saw somewhere that the players get 2 complimentary tickets. I think I read that the players get 2 complimentary tickets. And so, but then they have the right to buy up to 13 tickets, is my understanding. And like Justin Reed from the Chiefs, he's taking so many people that his bonus if they win is, he already said, that's my bonus, is my money to take my family to the Super Bowl. So it is what it is. All right. And these are a celebration item. I think these are fun sequins. So I used 3 celebration items. The DSP, I used the ribbon and the sequins. This is the rock and roll technique. Can you see it? Yeah, I would have to almost do a Facebook Live for that group. All right, and then the inside. And I want you guys to give it a try. Rock and roll technique, super easy, super easy to do, okay? All right, sorry that I'm off schedule, but I knew it was the only way I was gonna get it in today. So thank you for being with me. I will not be here next week. We will be traveling home on Monday. Then the Christmas tree is coming down. The Chiefs' Christmas tree is coming down no matter what on the next day, Tuesday. So take care. God bless. Be watching because we're going to have some specials. This is also my anniversary month with Stampin' Up. So I'm going to be doing some specials on ordering, and I'm going to be doing some drawings later in the month. So anything you need, guys, be signing up for, because orders, online orders of any kind, classes, anything will all go into the drawing. So thank you. Safe travels. I appreciate it. Take care. God bless. Go Chiefs.